You solve a big problem and you make big money. But what if you have no money and no free time and you don't know what you're doing to solve a big problem, to get you that big money and to get you more free time as you go forward in your life? You use and leverage an already established business that's already solving a big problem, and that solves those problems of solving those problems. Now, what if you don't know what you're doing and you don't even know what any of that means? Well, first, you have to have an intrinsic hunger, a craving, a fire in the belly for learning. Gotta love learning. From the inside, you have to love learning. Absent of that, then you will always find rationale for your excuses as the perfect reason to either be a non-starter or to get started but to quit when you don't know how to do something, or something, some wrench gets thrown in your way. And you always know that you love learning when suddenly everything becomes this thing where it's just something else I've got to figure out. Take my story. I've got empathy. I've been there. I've done that. Starting in 2007, this is when I started to leverage a whole other company that was already established to build my freedom and solving problems and giving me my free time, because I had no free time. My attitude was, oh, just something I got to figure out, something I got to learn. I had no income, nothing, no food stamps, no job, unemployment had already run out, no government help, nothing, no income coming in. Something I got to figure out. Something I gotta learn. I'm gonna learn. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no skill. I didn't even know what that really meant to leverage or to use another company to build my own thing. I had to learn like the alphabet before I could put words together. So I had to learn from the beginning. But it's no problem. Just something I gotta learn, something I gotta figure out. It's certainly plenty of teachers, plenty of courses and trainings and to-do lists and checklists and visual and demonstrations and any other, for whatever my learning style is, it's out there. It's just something I got to learn, so I'm eager to do that. And people that are not eager to learn, then they've ripped themselves off day in and day out, perpetually ripped themselves off before anybody else ever could. Even the people that break promises and the people that intentionally go out to hurt them, they've ripped themselves off before any of them ever could. So you have to love learning. And then from there, you can learn about this beautiful concept called leverage, because you have no free time, no money, or not enough of it. You don't know what you're doing, no skill. Big freaking deal. It's just something to learn, something to figure out, because I love learning. But that is the biggest solution for people that want to be free human beings and unshackle themselves from the dollar. In the end, that's why anybody would leverage another company to build their own. It's because they don't want to be chained and shackled to the dollar anymore and inside of that pyramid scam nonsense. It's the ultimate escape from the pyramid rackets that are out there that has 100% of its participants chained, bound, and shackled to the dollar. So this is about decoupling how you spend your time from your paycheck so that your paycheck comes in with or without your personal involvement, which means you have freedom of your time. And money is no longer an issue because now your bills, your food, your expenses, luxury and necessity, all your expenses are covered, and you have your free time to do whatever the heck you wish. And your heart can be where it needs to be, when it needs to be, however your heart bleeds, it can do what it needs to do. And you don't have to worry about a gatekeeper that can cut it off or say yes or no to a request that you might have to be able to be somewhere you need to be when you need to be. So that's it. Solve a big problem, make big money. You don't know what you're doing, you have no time, you have no money, you have no skills, you've got circumstances. You leverage another company that's already established and solving a big problem, and you learn how to do that. No problem. That's it. So my thing, health and wellness, chronic disease, chronic obesity, chronic consumer debt, those are the biggest problems of the day. There's no problems bigger than those things. So I'm leveraging a company that's already established, and they're solving those problems of chronic disease, chronic health problems, chronic obesity, and chronic consumer debt. They've figured out how to solve those problems. I'm leveraging them to build my thing and my financial freedom, so I have my freedom of time to be with my family, to be with, wherever friends, go on trips and have experiences that I want to create on my terms, because that's what life is, that dash between your birth date and your death date. You just get one dash. It makes sense to decouple your time from your income. So I've leveraged another company that solves the biggest problems of the day: health, consumer debt, disease, obesity. We'll just call it health and wellness and wealth. And that's how I did it. It took me 2.5 years, me personally, 2.5 years, to be able to emerge at a beautiful place where my time truly became decoupled from my income. 2.5 years. That's the speed of light compared to, say, we'll just call it the 40-year plan of going to some job, or most self-employed experiences for that matter, where you spend 40 years to retire poorer than you were when you were working. What a racket that is. 2.5 years compared to the 40-year plan. But in 2.5 years, unlike the 40-year plan, you retire richer than you were when you were working. And now your time is decoupled from your income, and you can spend your time how you wish. You're still young, you're healthy. Oh, and you've got the health to actually enjoy yourself and enjoy your family and your friends and enjoy whatever interesting projects or charities that you want to take on. Sounds like a much better deal to me. But it all starts with a craving to learn. Otherwise, you've already dismissed everything in this video with perfect rationale as to why you can't get started or why you have to quit something that maybe you already did started. Instead, turn on the creative learning juices in your brain, and now suddenly everything becomes a perfect reason why you have to see something through and learn how to do it. So things that were a perfect reason not to, suddenly those same things become a perfect reason to do. I don't have any money, I have no time. Perfect reasons why I got to figure it out and learn. I don't know what I'm doing. Perfect reason why I have to learn so that I can know what I'm doing. At some point in the future, I emerge at a place where I've solved those things. So if you're interested to see what I've got going on, to see the company that I'm leveraging that's already solved the biggest problems of the day, and how I was able to leverage that to build my own thing, which set me free in only 2.5 years, the speed of light compared to the 40-year plan, and with a better result than what you get with the 40-year plan, a much better result. It's like a no-brainer to me. Just Facebook private message me, and I'll show you what I've got, and you can see if it's a good fit for you. And that's the whole invitation process, by the way. I don't go out to ask people to join me. I go out to see who's open. And that looks like, instead of, would you like to sign up with me or join me or do my thing with me? It's more like, would you like to see what I'm doing to see if it would be a good fit for you? See how much better that is? And that's how I was able to do it in 2.5 years. You find other people that are doing the first example where it's like, join my thing, sign up with me. And those are the people that typically don't see it through because they never make any progress and they eventually get frustrated, quit. They don't have a desire to learn the right way to do it. And so they become the quitters versus the non-starters or the finishers. So there's your first-hand experience as to what it looks like to build something that can set you free, where you're leveraging a whole other company that's already established in solving problems. And again, you'll learn more of what that looks like if you decide you want to do something like this with me. And speaking of leverage, you get to leverage my intellectual acuity on this whole deal, coming from a place of I didn't know what I was doing. I had to learn from the ground up. It was like learning the letters of the alphabet and the sounds they make before I could put words together, then eventually sentences. And so you'll be able to leverage how I've been from there to where I'm at now and where I'm going, because I still love learning, and I hope you do too. So I'll hear from some of you very soon. And with that, my website, if you want to check me out more, is tombirkenmeier.com. Just like it's spelled here on social media, tombirkenmeier.com. Take out the space, all lowercase. Feel free to share this with your friends and family. Click like or love. Actually, when there's a love button next to the like button becomes kind of anemic and impotent. So smash the love button and feel free to comment on this thing. I'll answer your questions, and I'll hear from some of you privately very soon, and I'll show you what I've got, and you can see if it's a good fit for you. Seeing who's open. Bye for now. Mwah!